Hey, it's Global Politics with Jim Martin. I want to talk about tariffs. Specifically, what are they supposed to do? We hear Trump talk about how he wants to bring manufacturing back to America, in so many words. And that's part of the reason why you might use tariffs. Now, if we put tariffs on a bunch of imports, then perhaps those manufacturers would be de-incentivized from using those supply chains that currently exist. Now, the impact of that would conceivably drive these manufacturers to establish factories in the United States, thus creating jobs, thus ... The other idea behind it is to increase our exports. He is very concerned about trade deficits and has been for literally decades, just like he's been obsessed with tariffs. So if you drove these manufacturers back, the idea is that now we would make all this stuff here and then be able to export it all around the world. The problem with this is, if this was a perfect world and things could happen instantaneously, you could do that. However, we've spent the last 60 years building supply chains all across the world that allow us to take advantage of economies of scale and things like this. So somebody in a particular place has cheaper labor or closer access to the materials needed to make something, and so they do it there. This is a very common example of what's happening in Canada and in Mexico, is that because we had these free trade agreements with them, we could build a lot of stuff there slightly cheaper that allowed us to bring the pieces back here and assemble them, and then it would be cheaper. But untangling those supply chains and creating the manufacturing infrastructure to take care of that is not a simple matter, and it would take some years to do that at great expense. In the meantime, our labor costs are higher, so therefore we would pay much more for the things that we would like to have made here. That's the simple, basic idea of the whole thing. There's a lot more to it than that. I've got other videos on it if you want to check those out. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks.